Hello, my beautiful feather tribe. Welcome or welcome back to Unbound Soul Tarot. My name is Helen and I'm an empath as well as an intuitive tarot reader here on YouTube. So we are back with another pick a card reading, and this time we are going to be looking at what will bloom in your life next. I was called to pull 5 piles this time, which I haven't done in a long time, but here they are. Here we have them. So I'm going to jump straight into the pile selection and keep it sort of nice and quick. So for pile number 1, we have the Muerte Tarot deck. For pile number 2, we have the Ostara Tarot. For pile number 3, we have Witches Tarot. For pile number 4, we have Radiant-Wise Spirit Tarot. And for pile number 5, we have the Phantomwise Tarot. So go ahead, take your time. You probably already know how these readings work. So just tune into the piles, tune into your body, try and zone out of all of the distractions that may be around you, and just focus on which pile you feel drawn to the most. If you feel drawn to more than one pile, that's absolutely fine. You can watch as many as you like, but it's most likely that one pile will speak to your circumstances and your sort of current path or the current direction that you are on the most closely. So most likely there will be one pile that speaks to you the most, but it may be that there are other additional messages scattered throughout another pile that you feel called to. So just, you know, do you, watch as many as you like, but always, always, always keep your discernment with you. Whenever you hear messages that don't seem to be talking about your current circumstances or the sort of the path that you are on right now, it doesn't seem to make sense. Don't try and force it to fit, and you know, it's better to just leave it be. It might be someone else's message because this is still a general reading, okay? So don't forget about that. But yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna leave you here to choose your pile, and whenever you are ready, you can go into the description box or the comment section down below, click on the timestamp that you need, and jump straight to your reading. So happy choosing, and I will see you there. Hello, pile number 1. You chose the Muerte Tarot, and we are going to be digging into these messages just a little bit later. So I'm going to put them on the side here somewhere, and we are going to be starting with some oracle cards first, which are going to describe the current situation that you are in, the things that you are currently dealing with, and that seem to be your reality. So this way, getting a snapshot of your current energies, it will be easier for you to decipher whether this pile is actually for you or whether maybe you should check out another pile. Okay, so yeah, let's just jump straight into what you are currently dealing with. Okay, we have Hope as the first card. We also have Closing Door, Completion. We have Night Owl. We have Wolf Spirit, Turn Knowledge into Wisdom. And finally, we have the Solar Plexus Chakra. So pile number 1. It is pretty evident to me that you have gone through this like portal of initiation where you are definitely moving through sort of a dark tunnel at this time that is going to lead you to a whole new chapter. But it seems that things, at least in the form that they used to be, are sort of closing out, and you are being ushered into a whole new life, essentially. It seems pretty radical, especially because we have these 2 cards over here with the Solar Plexus and Hope, which is actually the Star card in tarot. That's the equivalent of this card. But it seems to be like a transformation of you or your life at almost like a cellular level, or you as a person, your identity, your perspective, your understanding of your life, your place in the world, all of that, like these really, really big questions and really big perspectives are changing. And maybe at this time you are still in the darkest part of the tunnel, which means that you can't see the door to your sort of old way of living, but you can't see the door to this new life yet either. So you are in the darkest part of it. Or you could be already somewhere closer to the sort of the light at the end of the tunnel, and you may be seeing this new chapter in front of you, but you're just not there yet. So sort of take it as it resonates, see where you fit into this story on your own timeline. But it seems that the new beginning, either way, is not here right now. And it may be very difficult, it may be very challenging, but it's clear to me that you are being massively upgraded, and you are learning so much through this experience, whether you realize it right now or not. But you are being pushed to learn, pushed to elevate and just grow as a person, grow as a soul. I almost get this feeling, especially with this wolf spirit card, that you are experiencing certain lessons where maybe the theory part, or you sort of had an idea of what you would do in a certain situation or how you would act, but maybe you hadn't actually ever experienced the situation yourself. But it seems to me that now you are in this situation, or maybe you already were in a certain situation, but it's like the things that you knew, your knowledge has been put to the test, and now you sort of have to actually live through these things and see whether what you know is actually true, or whether there's maybe a better way to deal with the situation. But I definitely get a sense that you are going through some experiential learning, meaning that you are actually sort of transforming, as I said, as a person, and you are transforming on a cellular level through certain experiences. And by the looks of it, these are not easy lessons. These are not easy challenges or obstacles that you are dealing with, because especially the Night Owl card over here, it can talk about the dark night of the soul. And so that's the sort of experience that you may be going through right now, as these old chapters are closing out, and as you are having to say goodbye to some things that you have been used to, whether they be in a living situation, you know, you moving out, or you just deciding that your career path that you have chosen for yourself is not really fulfilling anymore, or just the job that you are in is not fulfilling anymore, or whether you are realizing that the relationship that you are in, or the person that you thought you loved and knew, is not the person that you thought they were. And so, you know, you are sort of going through this crisis in your relationship. Whatever it is, it seems to be a very transformative experience for you. So that's kind of what I'm feeling here, based on these cards. And regardless of like which area of life this is talking about for you, it does seem to be a very solitary experience. It seems to be something that you sort of seem to have to do on your own. It's not something that you can really incorporate other people into, or rely on, or, you know, ask for support, that type of thing. I feel like this is something that you just have to do on your own. And especially if you are someone who is used to having other people sort of help you through things or support you in dark or difficult times, it may be that you struggle even more so due to this. It may be even more difficult for you than it would otherwise be. Because I'm definitely getting like a lone wolf energy from this card. Or there's something very, like, as I said, solitary about these cards. But again, it's supposed to sort of grow you or develop and elevate you as a person. So it's building, like it's a strengthening of character almost. That's the type of feel that I get here. But let's see, as you're going through this dark tunnel right now, let's see what will bloom in your life next. So let's start with that first. Okay, we have Judgment. We have the Sun. Sorry, these are supposed to go in the middle here. Wow. And we have the Queen of Wands. Okay, beautiful. So there is definitely a massive rebirth for you, pile number one, definitely, because I mean, we have Judgment here, which is one of the cards in tarot that has like the biggest energy about them in the major arcana. But we also have the Sun here, and the Sun is the center card, which is, it's full of positivity, it's full of accomplishment. And I mean, we have the Queen of Wands here too. And even though it's a queen, I don't necessarily attach gender to the court cards. So, you know, even if you are female or male or anything in between, this can still be talking about you. But I just feel like there is this massive transformation, or this massive, as I said, like rebirth or renewal that you are going to experience or come into as you go through this dark tunnel. Where, as I was saying, the perspective that you have of life, and especially of yourself, because we have two cards, the Sun and the Queen of Wands, which I very often associate with ego, but not like the bad type of ego. You know, some people, when they hear the word ego, they think it's a bad word, or it's like it has a negative connotation to it, but it doesn't actually, you know. Ego is a part of us, and it's a very necessary part of us. It helps us function in the world. So that's the sort of thing I see here. I see a healthy ego, I see healthy confidence, and a healthy sense of self-worth, and just this courage to be yourself, to express yourself freely, to let other people see you as you truly are without any like false masks or people-pleasing masks or, you know, self-compromising masks. It's just a whole sort of upgraded version of you that seems to become evident as you come out of that tunnel. We even see it here with the little skeleton coming out of the coffin here. So it is as though you have gone through like a death process, and now you may still be in the middle of it. As I already said, it feels like it's not quite done yet, but the thing that you are moving towards clearly here is a form of a new you. And even though I say it's a new you, I actually feel the more right term would be a more true you. Like it's more authentically you, the way you truly feel yourself, and just allowing it to be what it is. And I feel like it's very, very radiant. It's very welcoming, very attractive. It's very, again, confident seems to be the biggest word that is like jumping out at me, especially with the Sun and the Queen of Wands. It's just that type of radiant energy that draws people in. And the more authentic you are, the more the right people will be drawn to you, you know? So I really, really love seeing that. But let's now look at what is hindering this energy's arrival. Okay, we have the Hanged Man. We have the Two of Pentacles in reverse and the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So I actually get two scenarios here, pile one. So just choose whichever version you feel more resonant with. So the first version that I feel here is one of sort of being stuck in limbo, or not really wanting to come out of the cocoon and turn into a butterfly, you know, getting maybe too comfortable in that darkness, in that sort of gestative state, which can very easily happen. I mean, because it feels a lot more safe than to actually go out there and experience life and experience the world and sort of risk being hurt, risk being criticized, risk being seen, and being vulnerable. All of those things are scary, at least to a lot of people. And the fear of rejection can very often keep us in that sort of dark and hidden space. And I feel like that's definitely one thing that if you get too comfortable in that space, you may be sort of delaying this beautiful renewal, this beautiful rebirth, as you're sort of possibly not even knowingly or willfully turning away certain opportunities that may be sort of coming your way, and you may be turning things down, again, out of fear. So that's something that some of you may be doing. So just something to be mindful of. So the other scenario that I'm getting here is that you may be feeling impatient in this gestative state, right? In this dark tunnel. And you may feel like you don't want to face the things that you are being sort of shown, or that you are being forced to deal with, or, you know, certain painful aspects, certain trauma, certain sore spots that you may have, that the universe is sort of forcing you to deal with, so that you could come out this more beautiful, more vibrant, more sort of confident version of yourself. So some of you, as I said, may be like afraid of that, or may want to, maybe resisting it, or just may want to avoid it completely. And as you may be feeling very, very uncomfortable in this dark tunnel, you may not be giving enough time to these processes, and you may be sort of looking at ways to start something new, or to not, you know, spend energy or spend time in this preparatory mode, and therefore in this like hasty state, you may scatter your energy around and possibly invest it in things that are not healthy for you in the long term, that are not going to be productive in the long term. So those are the two sort of scenarios that I get here that may be hindering this beautiful rebirth's arrival for you. But let's see what is supporting this rebirth's growth. Okay, we have the Eight of Wands, we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and we have the Four of Swords. Yeah, it's kind of funny that we have two cards of like a timeout on both ends here, with the Hanged Man, and then we have this Four of Swords here on the other end. But yeah, I definitely see that the more you can be focused on this process that you are in, the more you can fully let yourself be enveloped by these energies, by these feelings and emotions that are coming up in you, the more that you can just sort of go with the flow here with the Eight of Wands, the more quickly this rebirth can come about. And especially with the Queen of Pentacles coming out in reverse here, the Queen of Pentacles is very often someone who likes to take care of things, likes to take care of other people, likes to just be very like responsible and very nurturing and supportive, and you know, almost like this support system or source of comfort for other people. I feel like because the Queen of Pentacles is coming out in reverse, it's a very sort of straightforward message that your focus at this time needs to be on yourself. Your focus at this time needs to be on facing those emotions and facing those fears and all of the things that you are being put up against at this time as you are going through this dark tunnel. Because there is a very specific reason that you are experiencing this right now. It serves a certain purpose. And again, as we can see here, like what this experience is pushing you towards, it's clearly something that is meant to enhance your life, that is meant to bring you closer to the life that your soul really wants to live, and giving your soul the opportunity to express itself the most authentically that it can. But right now, you sort of need to embrace this space of like quiet and figuring things out, and you know, doing some shadow work or just tuning out the distractions so that you could work through these things more quickly. And I do feel like the majority of this reading is talking about your feelings and like, again, your sort of your mindset or your perspective and the way that you view things, which I feel may have been somewhat distorted in the past or previously. And so that you could sort of work through these patterns or these frameworks that maybe have been keeping you stuck and sort of not allowing you to move in the direction that you actually truly want to move in. Those sort of things, those constructs need to be broken down. And I feel like that's exactly what is happening right now. You are essentially being liberated. You are shedding some old skin so that you could face a new chapter with more ease, with more comfort, with more, again, confidence. For some reason, that seems to be the key word here for you, Pile 1. I hope that this message is something that makes you feel even the slightest bit better, knowing that this radiant new rebirth is waiting for you. But you just sort of need to go through that dark tunnel and work through the stuff that the universe is pushing you to work through. Okay, but I don't want to drag this reading on anymore, so I'm gonna leave it here, Pile 1. I hope that this resonated. I hope that it gave you some hope, right? Some hope, some encouragement, some support. That's the meaning behind this reading anyway. So hang in there, Pile 1. Just know that you are doing great and the universe is supporting you through this, even though maybe, you know, as I said, physically you may not be feeling the support or you may not be able to receive the support, but energetically at least you are being looked out for and everything is sort of headed in the right direction. But take care of yourself, Pile 1, and if I don't see you in any of the other piles, thank you so much for being here with me in this reading and for watching these messages. And if you enjoyed them, don't forget to give a little thumbs up or subscribe to my channel. That would help me out immensely. That would mean so much to me. But yeah, take care and hopefully I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. I hope that you are all doing really well. But you chose the Ostara Tarot. We are going to put those cards on the side here for now, and we're going to start with some oracle cards first, which will tell us what you are currently experiencing, what you are going through. So hopefully, as you see these messages, you will be able to make sure for yourself that you are actually watching the right pile. But without further ado, let's just see what the oracle messages have to say. Okay, so we're starting off with Crown Chakra. We also have Will-o'-the-Wisp, Treasures Hidden in the Shadows. We have Moonstruck. We have Swan Spirit, Time for a Deep Dive. And we also have Authority. So pile 2, I'm getting a message that at this time, the universe is sort of pushing you to be a lot more courageous than you maybe have been. I don't mean to say that that you haven't had courage in the past, but it just seems to me that at this time you are almost at this crossroads, or there is a certain path that you have been on already, that you have been walking down, and is that current path is already somewhat familiar to you. It's something that you're not necessarily afraid of because you almost know what to expect. You can see sort of the direction that it is headed in. So it feels like there's not that much to discover there anymore, or it's not as surprising, and you may feel very comfortable there. But I feel like there is also another path where the universe is maybe pushing you, or you may feel a certain call to venture off this current path and try something new, try something different, go on a certain adventure. But this other path is something that you have never experienced. It's something that you can't predict. You can't foresee what you're going to experience on that path. You can't prepare yourself for the obstacles that you may encounter on that path. So that other path is definitely a lot more scary, and it's a lot more testing. But at the same time, even though it is scary, I also feel like there is a certain allure about that path. There is a certain mystery, a certain awe that you may be feeling because it's interesting. It's something to explore. It's something to go and experience. It's something new and fresh. And so I feel like you are at this crossroads and there is a new path beckoning, but I feel like it is for you to go down that other path. It means certain sacrifices and certain choices that you need to make regarding this current path that you are on. And so even though you feel this call, this pull towards this new path, it's not quite as easy to just sort of leave your current path and go do something else completely. And I feel like you know that. I feel like that's the reason why you may be sort of standing at this crossroads right now. I see that there is something that you have your eye on, something that is definitely intriguing you, something that is tempting you. And I mean like tempting from how should I say, from like an energetically higher point, because we have this crown chakra and we have this will-o'-the-wisp, and it seems like both of those cards seem very like ethereal, very magical. So this desire that is calling you is definitely coming from a more divine space, but at the same time it requires a certain type of commitment. And I feel like on like an ego level, with this authority card, on an ego level, you may have a hard time making that decision or making that commitment because of what it means for your current path. So there may be this like little battle going on right now, or there may be some soul searching that you are doing to figure out which path you are going to choose. Even though, as I said, there is a pull, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to choose that path, because again, from that ego standpoint, or from your conscious mind, there needs to be this decision. Now, I don't know, maybe some of you have already made this decision, maybe some of you have already decided to go on this new path, but for the most part, I feel like the majority of you watching this are still at this crossroads. You are still at this decision-making point, and you are sort of looking at both directions and possibly like weighing the pros and cons, or trying to decide for yourself what would be the right move for you. So yeah, that's the energy that I feel for you right now, pile 2. But let's dive into the tarot and see what will bloom in your life next. Okay, we have the Empress in reverse, which is interesting that this authority card in tarot is actually the Emperor. It's equivalent to the Emperor card in tarot. But let's keep going. We have, what is this? We have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. And finally, we have Temperance. Okay. I'm getting this sense that some of you may be trying to do two things at the same time, or keep the current path that you are on alive, as well as venturing on that new path. So sort of trying to do both instead of deserting one and choosing the other. But I feel like the thing that is going to like bloom in your life next, or this new chapter that is going to be coming about, is one of like integration, or is an understanding, or is a new viewpoint on this whole situation, which is going to bring like this synthesis of what you have learned on this current path that you are on, and sort of taking it with you and applying it to this new path, or sort of transmuting this situation completely. Because I feel like right now you may see the place in your life that you are as very like black and white, or this or that. Like there is this one option and there is this other option, and that's all that I have to work with. And I feel like this next sort of chapter that is opening up for you, or this new situation that is blooming, will actually make you sort of realize that it's not just this or that, that maybe there is a third option, or maybe there is something that you haven't even considered before with this Temperance card. It seems like there is something completely new merging for you, or a whole new understanding, a whole new option that maybe before with the Empress in reverse you didn't even realize was an option, or you didn't even see it as something, as a possibility. But I actually love seeing this Two of Coins in reverse here, because it's telling me that you are going to be leaving this sort of hesitant state, or the state of being in between two things and trying to decide which way to go, like this indecisive mode that I feel like a lot of you are in right now. You're going to be leaving that and sort of seeing things from a higher vantage point, or from a higher perspective, that is going to again open up more doors for you than you previously thought were possible. And because Temperance is such a high vibrational card, or it's a very divine card in my eyes, I feel like this crown chakra energy that is coming through in your current energy right now, there seems to be a very strong connection between you and the divine, or between you and your higher self, whoever you feel connected to. So yeah, I feel like sort of putting your mind at ease that don't worry, the state of hesitancy, or the state of uncertainty, sort of going back and forth and trying to decide, that is something that you are definitely going to be coming out of, and finding a more wholesome, a more integrated way of viewing things, and possibly even, as I said, finding it like an alternative path that incorporates both of these, this new option and this current path that you are on. So, and it seems very divinely guided as well with the Temperance energy. It seems like the divine is definitely helping you out. Let's see what is hindering this energy's arrival. We have the King of Wands in reverse. We have Strength. And we have the Ten of Cups in reverse. Okay. So what I feel like saying here, pile 2, is be mindful of being too headstrong, or being too, I don't know whether that's necessarily a nice word to use, but I just keep hearing the word pig-headed in my head. So just be mindful of, you know, being too stuck on the way that you see things. Because with the Ten of Cups in reverse, this to me feels like a slightly pessimistic view of life, or not really feeling open to like a connection, or open to possibility. And I feel like this possibility and connection is talking of your connection with the divine, because the King of Wands and Strength are both cards of Leo, the Leo archetype. And I feel very like self-assured and very, yeah, just very, very sort of stuck in your ways, or very determined to do things the way that you think you need to do them. And being closed off to, as I said, that like divine wisdom, that divine knowledge, or trying to hold on to the reins too tightly. Again, with this authority card, I definitely feel like there is an ego element here, or this control element here. If you sort of put too much focus on that and shut out this beautiful like divine energy that you seem to be very sort of strongly connected to at this time, then I feel like you're going to miss out on sort of a solution, or an answer that would actually make you a lot more happy than sort of what you feel is possible right now, if that makes sense. So yeah, I feel like the universe is trying to sort of collaborate with you on this one, and trying to widen your horizon, trying to show you that there are more opportunities in front of you. But if you sort of choose not to see that, or not be open to collaborating with the divine, then I feel like you may risk sort of missing out on this other option, or just sort of postponing actually arriving to that place. But let's see what is supporting this energy's growth. So we have the 6 of Coins. We have the 9 of Cups. And we have the 6 of Swords. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the 4. Sorry, my bad. It's the 4 of Coins, the 9 of Cups, and the 6 of Swords. So I feel like what would support this sort of energy coming about, or this this integration, this more wholesome view of where you are at in your life right now and where you can go from here. I feel like that can come about more quickly, or that sort of situation can grow more easily when you switch yourself into a more like relaxed mindset, and sort of trust in yourself, and trust in your knowledge, your skills, your resources, but also trust in the divine, and sort of trust that they won't lead you astray. Again, I get this like collaborative energy here, where it's like the divine supporting you, but you also realizing that all of your knowledge, all of your experience, all of your skills and talents, they all are things that you can use as you sort of navigate your life, and as you navigate these new paths that are in front of you. So again, it sort of brings me back to this point that I was making earlier when I was talking about your current situation. And as I said, I feel like the universe is really asking you to be courageous at this time. And I feel like the more you believe in yourself, the more you trust yourself, and that you are able to handle any situation that is thrown your way. Because again, I want to remind you that the universe never gives you challenges or lessons that you are not able to handle, that you are not able to sort of go through. And so I feel like the more you rely on that, the more you trust in that and in yourself, the more easy it is for this new sort of path to illuminate itself to you, or this new perspective, this new opportunity or option. Because I feel like you actually have way more options in front of you than you realize at this time. And I feel like the universe really wants you to see that, and wants you to be able to take advantage of that. Because with Temperance, this is definitely, as I said, a more sort of divine energy that I see here. And I feel like this other path, this alternative path, is one which will be a lot more like abundant and a lot more fulfilling in all sorts of different ways, not just like physically or materially. And it's something that is much more harmonized with your soul as well, which is possibly why this divine sort of connection is coming through in the first place. It's why it's trying to guide you so sort of strongly at this time. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna leave it here, I suppose. I hope that it made sense to you, and I hope that you know, if this was your story, if this resonated, that you were able to sort of let go of the reins a bit and allow the universe to like collaborate with you. I guess that's it, pile number 2. If this reading spoke to you, if this offered you something useful, please let me know. You can leave me a comment, or you can give me a thumbs up, or you can also just subscribe and let me know that way that you enjoy my content and that you would like to see more. It means so much to me. But yeah, if I don't see you in any of the other piles, please take care of yourselves. I really appreciate you being here, and hopefully I'll see you very soon in one of my next readings. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. So you chose the Witch's Tarot, and as beautiful as these cards are, we are going to save them for later, because at this time we are going to turn to some oracle cards and see what you are currently dealing with. So hopefully these messages and these energies that come through from these oracle cards will help you to understand whether you are watching the right pile or not. So let's see what you are currently dealing with, pile 3. Okay, we have sacrifice. We also have horned cactus with resourcefulness. We have star child. We have snake spirit, time to heal. And we have base chakra. The message I'm hearing or getting from your reading is that at this time you might not be feeling necessarily safe. You might not be feeling necessarily secure or protected, especially because of this base chakra card and this resourcefulness. I feel like the main worry that you have is in a physical sense or material sense, more specifically. You may not be feeling safe and secure in your financial situation. Now, that might not be the case for all of you. So if it's not specifically in money matters that you feel uncertain or unsafe, it could be that you don't feel that way within yourself, within your personality, or within, you know, your identity and how you show up in the world. It could be in that sense as well. But just in general, I feel like there is a sense of lack here. If I had to choose one tarot card to sum up this energy that I feel from these cards, it would be the 5 of Pentacles. The feeling of being left out in the cold, the feeling of not having enough, not having your needs met, feeling rejected, or feeling like there is no support, no help around you, like you are discarded, like you are not being seen, you are not being appreciated, you're not being supported. And so whichever way this comes through for you, maybe it even comes through in all of these different aspects, right? Maybe it is in money matters as well as in your sort of self-confidence or your just sense of self in general. Maybe you don't feel safe in your home environment or in your job environment or in your relationship or within your community, you know. However this resonates for you, or whether it resonates in all different aspects of your life, I feel like the universe wants you to start sort of dealing with that sense of fear or sense of unsafety and not feeling secure, right? There is an element of healing that seems to been necessary here. And I get a very strong message that you have been through some very, very tough times. You have had to be very creative in surviving, in making ends meet, in just sort of coming through or making it through whatever your specific experiences have been, especially recently. And I also feel like you haven't felt things sort of moving or progressing very much, especially with this horned cactus and sacrifice card, which is actually the Hanged Man in tarot. There seems to be this standstill that you have experienced, or almost like not necessarily seeing external events happening, or not seeing the fruits of your labor coming about, just feeling like nothing is happening. However much you put energy and effort into things, nothing seems to be coming out of it, or you don't seem to, manifest what you want, or the results that you do get are somehow insufficient, or that they're not enough to make you feel accomplished, or to make you feel like it was worth it, like you got your fair due, like everything is okay. I feel like at this time, you don't feel everything is okay. So, wow, I truly, truly sympathize with you, pile 3, because I can see that you have had some really, really tough times, and it hasn't been easy to make it out. But let's see what will bloom in your life next. Let's see if there's something more hopeful to look forward to. Okay, we have Strength as the first card out. We also have the Emperor. And we have the Six of Wands. Yeah, wow, look at that. Okay, so we have 2 major arcana cards, and we have the Six of Wands, which is a very, very auspicious minor arcana card. So I definitely see here with these major arcana cards that the universe is actually working with you. The universe is making a play here too. And it's definitely in your favor with the Six of Wands. So if you feel like you haven't really accomplished anything, if you feel like things haven't played out the way that you have wanted them to, if you feel like you are having to make do with very little, or like you are constantly struggling, I feel like your fortitude, your courage, your strength, all of that will be rewarded with the Six of Wands here. There is definitely some sort of reward, some sort of recognition that is going to be coming out of this tough cycle that you have been in. And not only that, I feel like because of the Emperor and Strength coming out here side by side, I feel like you will also actually be like elevated as an individual, as a person. There is a lot of strength and like strength of character specifically, a lot of self-belief, a lot of resilience, a lot of know-how that I feel that you are going to be sort of coming into as well with this Strength and the Emperor cards. There is a lot of stability here, especially with the Emperor being the center card here too, which sort of seems to be the main energy or the main theme. So a lot of security, a lot of structure. And I feel like it's the energy that you yourself will start to embody, not just like your life in general, but I feel like because of all of these things, because of all of these hardships and challenges and obstacles that you have faced and that you have overcome, because you are still here. So that means that you have done something right. You haven't given up. You haven't surrendered. You haven't let those sort of external difficulties and internal difficulties, you haven't let them beat you down. And so all of those things have slowly but surely been building up your character, been making you stronger. And I feel like you will see that sort of come out in full spectrum very soon. And I feel like as you see those results, as you see some sort of reward for all of this hard work that you have been doing, it sort of further reassures you or shows you that you are capable of so much. And so even though at this time you may still feel like you are searching for some sort of reassurance outside of you, in your external world, in your surroundings, in other people, I feel like the place that you will arrive at with this Emperor card and strength here is that you will actually realize that you don't need it to survive. You don't need it to thrive. You actually have all of these skills within you, and you will learn how to find that sort of assurance from within rather than from without. So I love it. I love it. You will definitely prove to yourself how much you are capable of, what you can accomplish, what you can do, and how strong you really are. Because if you think of it this way, the cactus, right? For some reason, I'm being drawn to this card. The cactus, if it can thrive and survive in a desert environment where, you know, almost every other plant can't survive in, then you can survive and thrive absolutely everywhere. And I feel like that's the sort of quality that is actually been building up in you without you even realizing it. So I really love it because this seems to be an upgrade of some sort. Like you will be recognized. For some reason, I keep wanting to say that. You will be recognized. And even though right now it's something that you may be craving, I feel like when you get to this Emperor state, you won't actually feel the need for that outward recognition anymore, because you know what you are capable of, you know how strong you are, but it's just, I feel like it's coming anyway. So let's see what is hindering this energy's arrival though. Okay, we have the Ace of Pentacles with the Five of Swords and the King of Cups. Okay. I want you to look out for something or be very, very mindful of something. With the Ace of Pentacles and the Five of Swords being here, please be mindful of how much weight you give other people's words and opinions. Because the Five of Swords is a very sort of hurtful energy. It's a very spiteful energy, and it can cut very deeply. I almost feel like this maliciousness for some reason, or for this Five of Swords, even though I don't always see this card that drastically, but for some reason right now, this Five of Swords seems extra, extra powerful and extra malicious. So please be mindful of how much you let other people's opinions cut you, how much you sort of turn to other people for like advice or support, which, as I said, I feel like right now you may have a very strong tendency to do that, or a very strong urge to do that, especially with the King of Cups here. You know, almost like, I don't like this King of Cups right now. Even though it's coming out upright, it's not coming out reversed or anything, so it's not necessarily like a toxic energy, but I just get the sense that this King of Cups may be a person that you either look up to or that you are wanting support from, whoever they are to you. They don't even have to be male, but I feel like there is this desire to receive some support, receive some help from them. But for whatever reason, the support or whatever you are seeking from them, I feel like it's not going to come about in a way that you want it to, or it might actually even do you more harm than good. Or there is just something about them that isn't very helpful. That is more like self-serving or focused on their self-interest. Even though I feel like on the outside, they appear to be very loving, very caring, very helpful. They may even offer it to you. You know, like they are willing to listen to your concerns, listen to your worries, your problems. They may say that they want to be there for you, that they want to help you. But with this Five of Swords, I honestly feel like there is something like not very honest, not very sincere, not very genuine about this. It's almost like they want to be a part of your like hardship and suffering so that they could feel better about themselves or something like that, you know, or like feed their own ego or dominate you in some way, or express their authority, or like, how should I say it? Make it very, very apparent to you that they are in a better position than you are, and so they have like an upper hand over you or something like that. I don't know, but I honestly don't like it. It feels very like domineering. It feels like self-serving somehow, and I just want you to be very, very mindful of that at this time. And especially because of the Ace of Pentacles is here as well. If someone offers you a loan, or if someone is saying that they can, you know, give you money, be very, very careful of that, okay? Very careful, because again, with this Five of Swords here, I feel like there is a hidden agenda, or that, you know, somehow this person may use it against you afterwards. There is definitely no like free handouts here. That's what I feel. No free handouts. Just be careful. Obviously, it's your choice what you do and how you decide to live your life, but I'm just here to give you the messages. And so I feel like if you choose to rely on someone, or that is not very, you know, sincere, not very genuine, or if you, again, allow other people's opinions and other people's sort of advice to influence you too much, then I feel like the rewards and all of this massive like growth and development that the universe is pushing you towards, all of that will be delayed. And it's really not necessary. Really not necessary. So that's what I would say here. But let's see what will support this energy's growth, or what is supporting it, this energy's growth. Oh my god, we have the Hanged Man again. So see, that was the sacrifice card that I was talking about. Now we actually have this Hanged Man come out. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and we have the Four of Pentacles. I must say, it's kind of interesting how there are some cards that seem to be repeating throughout the piles, even though these are completely different decks. But yeah, it's just interesting to see. With the Hanged Man, I feel like, especially with the Four of Pentacles here too, it's very important to stick it out, to allow life to put you through these experiences, even though they are uncomfortable, even though they are challenging and testing you. Again, they are preparing you for something really, really great. So I feel like the more you can just sort of surrender to those lessons, and I mean surrender in the sense that you just allow them to be what they are, not resisting them, not fighting them, not trying to avoid anything, but just sort of sitting in that energy. Both the Four of Pentacles and the Hanged Man are energies of just sitting tight, not you know, exerting too much energy and trying to change things, and, you know, just being where you are. I feel like the more quickly these rewards, these results will come about. Especially with the Queen of Pentacles in reversing. Again, I'm getting this energy of like just pulling inward. I mean, because it's next to the Hanged Man and the Four of Pentacles as well. I feel like there is a massive need to reserve your energy to not get tangled up in other people's business, or not to, again, exert energy that you don't actually have, but to just focus as much as you can on this sort of healing space that you are in, staying strong, trying to find resilience and trying to work with the resources that you have at your disposal with the Four of Pentacles, even though you may feel like you don't have that much or you don't have enough. Sort of changing that perspective with the Hanged Man, or allowing the universe to show you a new way of thinking, of seeing things. And again, just appreciating what you already have and learning to use that as best as you can. I mean, the Queen of Pentacles is a card of resourcefulness as well, and we had this card of resourcefulness here with this cactus. So there's definitely a need to work with what you have, but the more you are able to navigate these situations that you are thrown in, still finding a way out, still being able to make things work for you, like all of those situations are showing you that you don't have to be afraid, you don't have to feel unsafe, because you always manage to come out of these situations somehow. You always manage to survive, you always manage to find a solution. And so all of that is slowly but surely building up this inner strength, this inner resolve and confidence. And so, yeah, I feel like it may sound a bit sucky, you know, to just keep relying on yourself. But I truly feel like that is the answer right now, pile 3. Because I feel like you are close. I feel like the universe definitely has your back in this and has your best interests at heart, even though, again, it seems like right now you may not be able to feel it or see it. But this is amazing. This new cycle that you're moving towards, or this new way of being that you are moving towards, this is amazing. So it's definitely worth it. And I feel like you will see it too when you arrive at this place. But I'm going to leave it here, pile 3. I hope that the messages that came through this reading were useful, that they helped you, that they, gave you some extra oomph, some juice, to keep you going. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for watching this. If this resonated, make sure to give me a thumbs up, or you can leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you like this sort of content and you want to see more from me. But yeah, if I don't see you in any of the other piles, please take care of yourselves, pile 3, and I hope to see you very, very soon. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading. So you chose the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot, but we are going to look at them a little bit later, because first we are going to dig into these oracle cards and see what you are currently experiencing or going through. So looking at these energies, we will be able to see what we are dealing with, and also you will be able to understand whether you're watching the right pile or not. So let's see what we have. Okay, we're starting off with Harmony. We also have First Breath, Beginner's Mind. We have Lion Rampant. Next we have Chameleon Spirit, Act As If. And we have Prosperity Begins. Okay. So pile number 4. I definitely get the energy that you have been thrown into something new, something exciting, something fresh, something that you haven't experienced either ever or just in a very long time. Because whatever the situation is, it seems like your courage is not quite there. Because we have 2 cards that are sort of stating a whole new situation with this Beginner's Mind, and we also have Prosperity Begins. So something is at the very early stages. If we're talking about a relationship, because we have this Harmony card, which is actually equivalent to the Lovers card in Tarot. If we're talking about a relationship, it may be that you just recently met this new person and things are still very fresh. There is a lot of unknown. You are still sort of learning about each other, getting to know each other. It's still in the early stages and very, very fresh and exciting. If this is talking about a career or a job position or a promotion, it could be that you haven't been in this specific role before. It may have more responsibility, or more things that you have to deal with, that you have to solve and look out for. Maybe you have some people who are working as your like subordinates for the first time, or maybe you have like a team of people to manage for the first time. Maybe you just finished, I don't know, high school or university, and now you are like leveling up in your studies, or maybe you have finished school and now you are starting your first job or something like that. It just seems like something is very new, very fresh. And even though it's exciting, I also get a sense of not feeling too confident, not feeling too self-assured with this chameleon spirit, right? So at this time, it seems like, especially with this lion rampant being here too, I feel like the universe is sort of testing you a bit, or in this situation, you are being forced to find a certain confidence, a certain sense of belief or self-belief, and just being, having the courage to go down this path and to see what it can bring. I did this with the last pile too, and I feel very much like doing it with you too, so I'm going to do it here too. If I had to sum up all of these oracle cards with one single tarot card, I would say the Fool. All of these cards put together are reminding me of the Fool energy, where you just don't know what to expect. You just don't know what's coming. You just know that things are full of possibility, things are full of potential, and it's very exciting. And yeah, you just sort of, I feel like you can't wait to see where it goes. But at the same time, again, I feel like you may be struggling to sort of leave certain baggage behind, certain like knowledge and experiences that you have from the past, from past relationships, or from past jobs, from past failures, from past, I don't know, mishaps or whatever. And those sort of things may be like bubbling to the surface right now, and messing with your head a bit, messing with your ability to go down this path and experience it fully and just enjoy it fully, because there may be some fears propping up due to the things that you have experienced before. So it may be difficult to like dump that baggage, and to see it completely with like fresh eyes, the way that you have never experienced the situation before, because that's really the case, isn't it? I mean, you have never been in this position before, with this specific person, or with this specific team, or in this specific position, in this specific point in time. Everything is actually new. And so I feel like you're called to embrace it, and I feel like you are embracing it, but there is also this other side, as I said. So let's see what will bloom in your life next based on this new and exciting energy that you are in. Okay, we have Temperance. We have the World in reverse. We're getting so many major arcana cards. It's kind of crazy. And we have the Seven of Cups. Okay. So I feel like what is blooming in your life next is a sort of like upgrade or leveling up. And I feel like the leveling up is happening in how you were able to experience this new chapter. Because I see you sort of integrating first with the World in reverse, this like the experiences that you have already gone through, that you have already like, I can't really say mastered, but it's like the chapters that you have already experienced. That's this old baggage that I'm talking about, right? That may sort of still be like lingering or affecting how you are able to enjoy this new chapter. So it's like there is this aspect of this old baggage due to this wisdom and experience that you have gathered. But then there is this Seven of Cups, which is all about that fresh potential, fresh opportunity, everything that could be. Like, things have not been written yet. You know, this journey that you are on, that you have just started, it is unwritten. And so there are all of these different ways that this journey could go, and all of these different things that you could experience on this journey. So I feel like the thing that is blooming in your life is you actually being able to sort of mesh those two things together and find something a bit more integrated, a bit more transmuted. I don't know, that's the only word that came to me, and I hope it made sense. But basically, I feel like you are sort of moving out of the extreme ends of the spectrum that you may be feeling right now, with this overwhelming sense of excitement, and on the other end of the spectrum, this overwhelming sense of fear that also props up. And I feel like you are sort of arriving at a place that is much more tempered. Yeah, I'm struggling with words, so I apologize, but hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. So I love that this integration is this place that you are arriving at, because I feel like it will actually allow you to be present in this energy and in this experience more fully than maybe you were able to be present in it right now. Because of, again, that like teeter-tottering, or whatever the expression is, you know, going from one end of the spectrum to the other and back again. So I love that you are arriving at this place where you were able to see this experience as a whole new experience, which it is, with full of potential, but also turning those fears of things like of the past repeating, essentially, and turning it into this healthy sense of wisdom, and just being aware and being knowledgeable, and maybe recognizing certain things so that the past can't repeat itself, you know? So you're taking like or taking the best of both ends of the spectrum, and arriving someplace much more wholesome, and something that you can actually just enjoy. But let's see what is hindering this new form of, like, again, I feel like you are transmuting and you are sort of leveling up with this Temperance card. So what is hindering this leveling up from arriving? Okay, we have the Six of Wands, we have the Eight of Pentacles, and we have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, this is actually kind of crazy. I do have to say, I'm noticing so many cards like repeating in all of these piles, and they are all from different tarot decks, but we're getting very many repeat cards, so it's kind of baffling. Okay, so we have the Six of Wands, we have the Eight of Coins, and we have the Ace of Coins. So the thing that could possibly hinder this beautiful integration from coming in sooner is like trying to micromanage the universe, trying to micromanage the situation, trying to control it, and trying to push your own sort of viewpoint on it. And again, I feel like this viewpoint is coming from the experience that you have had in the past, especially with the Six of Wands being here. This to me feels like a card of ego somewhat. You know, being maybe a bit too proud, or being a bit too like focused on you, what you are experiencing, what you are feeling, what you are thinking, and possibly like not being fully aware of maybe what other people around you are feeling or thinking. So having this sort of tunnel vision, the same thing with the Eight of Coins, having this tunnel vision. But I feel like because the Eight of Coins is, it's because of the nature of the card, it's giving me an energy of like just sort of repeating, you know, doing things the same way. And so I feel like this need to control this situation could be coming from you sort of having all of these experiences under your belt, and sort of knowing what has happened in the past, and possibly due to that knowledge, again, trying to like micromanage the situation or trying to rule the situation with your personal perspective with the Ace of Pentacles, when maybe in truth, again, it would be better to just see it from a more fresh perspective, and not let what has happened in the past, what you have previously experienced, not let that sort of muddle up the potential and the opportunity that is here with this new situation. Another sort of message that I'm getting, especially with the Ace of Pentacles here, is that, you know, there could be situations or, again, opportunities, possibilities that come in this new energy that you are in, that you may completely like look past or ignore, because you are so confident and so sure that you already know how it's going to go or how it's going to play out, even though in truth you haven't actually even given it a try. You just assume that you already know how it's going to go, and so you are sort of completely ignoring it or turning it down or looking away from it. So be mindful of that too. Again, keeping an open mind, I feel like, is super, super important right now, so that you wouldn't miss out on some really cool opportunities. And finally, because we have the Eight of Pentacles with the Ace of Pentacles side by side, there is a Seven of Pentacles stuck in between these two cards. And the Seven of Pentacles is a card of sort of judging or deciding whether something is worth the energy and effort that you are putting into it, or, you know, whether you don't really feel like waiting for the results. And so again, it feels like this rushing ahead sort of energy here. So please be mindful of rushing ahead and sort of jumping to conclusions, or jumping to certain assumptions, or making decisions based on assumptions, making judgments about things very early on without giving them a real chance, you know. So I feel like being overly confident because of the things that you have experienced could be a bit of a shooting yourself in the foot type of thing here. So just be mindful, okay? An open mind is something that is needed here, I feel. But let's see what is going to, or what actually supports this integration coming about, or what is going to support its growth. Yeah, so we have Death. We have the Six of Cups. And we have Strength. Okay. Yeah, so again, with Death and the Six of Cups coming out side by side here, this is a clear message from the universe to sort of let the past die out in a way, or to kind of remind yourself that the past is in the past for a reason. And this is a whole new situation that you are in right now. So even though you may have some memories, even though you may have some experiences, or maybe you get even certain flashbacks due to things that you experience in this new situation that, again, remind you of what you have already gone through. I feel like that's why this Strength card is here, to, again, to remind you that you have the ability to separate your sort of sense of fear that may be cropping up in these situations, and like this higher self, this more aware self, this more evolved self that can sort of step in and calm those fears down, so that you wouldn't make hasty decisions based on those fears. I'm seeing a lot of like a lion symbology, so the zodiacal sign Leo could be significant somehow, or I don't know, for you or for the situation that you are dealing with somehow, or maybe this integration is going to like fully come about or take place during Leo season, which is in August, or the end of July and August. So I don't know, but it's, for some reason, this lion symbology seems to be catching my eye. But yeah, I feel like the advice here is to remind you that you know more now than you did before when you were in these past situations and when you made certain mistakes or when certain things didn't play out the way that you wanted them to. You are now in a much more aware, much more wise, much more self-assured and self-confident place. And so it's time to sort of, leave those things in the past, not to bring them into the present with you, and just reminding yourself through them that you are not the person that you were then. And so I feel like reminding yourself of those things is going to help you to trust yourself more. Because I feel like self-trust is really the key in this situation and the key in helping you to integrate these ends of the spectrum that we were talking about before, and not letting like fear and past experiences rule what this new situation could turn into, not determining where it's going to go before you actually give it a proper chance to develop somewhere. So wow, I am going to leave it here, pile number 4, because I feel like your reading is sort of straightforward and I don't want to start repeating myself. And I hope that you got what you needed from this reading, that it maybe offered you a friendly reminder if you have been feeling yourself sort of drifting more into that realm of like fear and questioning yourself and distrusting yourself and your decision-making ability or your capabilities in general. Hopefully this sort of brought you back a bit and helped you to see the bigger picture here. But wow, I am so excited for you, pile number 4. It looks like you are going through an amazing chapter, and it seems like it's something that the universe has sort of brought you, or it seems something a bit more divinely guided. So please enjoy it, and I hope that it really turns out into something amazing. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, if you resonated with this, please let me know. You can leave me a comment in the comment section. You can also just give me a thumbs up. That would mean so much to me as well. And please don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more from me. I really appreciate any support that you show my channel. It means so much to me and it helps me to keep making these readings. But yeah, if I don't see you in any of the other piles, please take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you very soon in one of my next readings. Bye bye. Hello, pile number 5. You chose the Phantomwise Tarot, so exciting stuff what the messages will be, but we will keep those cards on the side here because we will tap into them a little bit later. We're first going to start with these oracle cards to get a glimpse of what you are currently experiencing, and hopefully as we look at these messages you will get a sense of whether this is your pile or not, and it will sort of set the record straight for all of us. So let's jump straight in and see what you are dealing with. Okay, so the first card out is the sacral chakra. We also have the Moon Maiden card with new beginnings. Ooh, okay, interesting. We have Moon Goddess coming out right next to it, which are somewhat similar cards to me, or I feel a similar energy. We have Sandpiper Spirit with Be Playful. And finally we have Recognition and Reward. Well, check you out, pile number 5. I'm getting a very creative energy off of these cards. So it seems to me that right now, either you're already in this energy or the universe is sort of, pushing you to this energy. It seems like you are being encouraged to express yourself more freely and to express especially the ideas that you have, the creative nudges that you have, some sort of inspiration that you may be experiencing to create something, to express your opinions or share your wisdom, something like that. I definitely get the sense that the world needs to hear what you have to say, or the world needs to see what you feel, or what you feel called to produce or make. Something needs to come out of you. Something needs to be birthed into the world in physical form. And it can be anything, really. It can be a picture, it can be a book, it can be a podcast, it can be a song, or I don't know, a piece of furniture, whatever it is. Whatever you feel called to make, or however you feel called to express yourself, I feel like now is the time to do that. And especially with the moon goddess here, I feel like you have been hiding the sort of the talents, or the things that your passions maybe, or the things that excite you, the things that interest you. Maybe even some of the things that you are really, really good at, but they may be somewhat unconventional. And so maybe you haven't told anyone that you are interested in something, or that you are able to do something, or that you are good at something. But I feel like now is the time to start doing it. Because especially with this recognition and reward, I feel like people will actually appreciate you for those things. And because we are looking at like current energies, for some of you, this is something that hasn't come about because, maybe you are still in this space where you haven't felt like it is safe to express those things. Maybe you are still sort of hesitant, or still holding those things in and holding them to, keeping them to yourself. But for others of you, it could be that you are already in this stage where, the feeling or the urge to express yourself has become so strong that it has surpassed that level of fear that was maybe holding you back before. And now you are sort of in this space where you are enjoying yourself more, and that the whole process has proven to be worth it, and you are receiving the recognition, you are receiving like people's attention, and people are noticing you for all of that for all of you I can't speak, for all of the things that you are capable of, and all of the things that you can do that maybe people had no idea that was in you. But with sacral being here, and again with both of these like moon maiden energies or moon goddess energies, it feels like there is something very, very like valuable that either is brewing in you or has been brewing in you. It's very fertile energy. And with the sandpiper spirit here too, the universe is really encouraging you to just sort of let your freak flag fly, I guess. So just to, be you and express it and put it out there and just sort of see what happens. Because I feel like this is almost like a guarantee that things will work out for you, and the right people will notice you, and the right people will be drawn to you. They will be drawn to your light. So don't be afraid to express what you've got, basically. So if you are in this space right now, if you feel this creative urge, or if you feel the need to put something out there, to show your talents, your skills off in a more clear way for other people to see, then this is clearly your reading. So let's see what will bloom in your life next. Okay, we have another moon card. So clearly the moon is a very, very important symbol in this reading. And you may have a very strong connection to the moon, or maybe maybe you have Cancer placements in your chart very, very strongly. Or maybe you just feel very very inspired and very sort of magical at this time. But let's keep going. Okay, we also have the Four of Cups, and we have the Chariot. So again, we have two major arcana cards. Major Arcana cards, for some reason, are just, they're all over the place in today's readings. Okay, yeah, so looking at these cards, I definitely get the message that for a lot of you, you are not in this space yet where you have decided to like express yourself, or where, you know, you are showing people what you can really do. I mean, some of you definitely have, and you know, you may be in this phase where you are expressing yourself, you're doing it, but maybe not that many people are noticing it or getting it yet. But for the most part, for the majority of you, I do feel like you are still in this space where you feel the urge, or you feel like you want to show yourself off, but you are still somewhat hesitant to do it because of how people will react or how people will see you. But I definitely see this feeling of, you know, being able to ignore it or being able to push it down. I feel like that is something that you're not able to do for a very long time. Because with the Chariot being here as the final card, it's clear to me that there is going to be movement. There is going to be a sort of transitioning from one state to the next state. And I love that we're getting this hot air balloon, which is like taking you up into the sky and into the clouds, that is depicted here. Because it does seem like you are going to be following your dreams in the end. Like you are going to be doing the thing that excites you, and just, you know, showing yourself off and putting yourself in a very visible space, overcoming those fears, right? With the moon, overcoming those fears of like what people will say, or what, you know, how people will react, or, you know, whether you will be successful in this thing that you are wanting to do. Like, I feel like all of those things that are holding you back right now, they are not going to be holding you back in this next chapter, or in this new energy that is coming in for you. So I feel like you will receive some sort of inspiration, or this this inner push that forces you to take action, that forces you to start moving, to start doing something. And I feel like it's going to be this like co-creational process with you, or between you and the universe. And as you are expressing yourself, as you are putting your talents out there, I feel like the universe is going to be taking you to the right people, taking you to the right circumstances, to the right places, and sort of just connecting the dots for you so that it would be easier for you to arrive at your desired destination. So it's this like, yeah, it's this collaboration that I see happening here with the Chariot, where the divine is definitely supporting you. And again, I was saying it with the moon as well, that there is a lot of this moon symbology coming through. So it's clear that the sort of the heavenly sphere is tied into this process somehow. So this state of like you sort of sitting in this hesitant mode, that is going to be changing. For sure. But let's see what is hindering this moving energy's arrival. Okay, we have the Ace of Cups, the King of Pentacles. Oh, interesting. And the King of Cups. Okay. Okay, now take it as it resonates. So both of these kings, they could represent other people that are around you in your vicinity, or they could be aspects of you. So if we stick with the first scenario, that the King of Pentacles and King of Cups are people around you, then I just feel like the thing that could be hindering you is that these people around you, they may have certain like expectations, or you may want to live up to their expectations. With the Ace of Cups, it seems like whoever these people are, and they don't necessarily have to be male, whoever these people are, you seem to think very highly of them, very fondly of them. You seem to be emotionally invested and deeply, deeply care what they think and what they have to say. Because the Ace of Cups is clear that your emotions are heavily invested into these people. And now the King of Pentacles is a card of Taurus, and the King of Cups is a card of Scorpio. But they could just represent earth and water respectively, more generally. So again, take it as it resonates. And even if they are not, you know, an earth sign or a water sign, it doesn't matter. I'm just talking of the archetypes and in case those signs mean something to you. So yeah, just be careful of trying to, you know, consider other people's feelings or other people's opinions about what you should do with your life, and trying to like please them or trying to live up to someone else's expectations, especially if that is something that you know that you do and something that you know, maybe give too much power to. Just be mindful if you know that that's you. But if we think of the King of Pentacles and the King of Cups as aspects of you, the thing that could be sort of hindering you or hindering this like action taking energy, it could be that possibly you are trying to think of this whole situation in a very like rational way or a very practical way, trying to manage like your emotions and manage these feelings that could be cropping up, and focusing instead on like what is the more reasonable thing, or what is the more, again, practical thing, or more safe and secure thing. So yeah, I definitely feel like this King of Pentacles is almost acting like a barricade or like a wall between what it is that you want, what your emotions are telling you, like with this sacral chakra card, and like actually following your heart and following that emotion, carrying it through and letting it sort of letting it guide you. I feel like this practicality or this sense of like needing to do the right thing, the responsible thing, the reasonable thing, that aspect of you could be sort of getting in the way of you sort of following your dreams. And so, yeah, just as I said, figure out how this resonates for you, whether these are people around you, whether these are aspects of you. But either way, giving too much power to those types of thoughts is something that is going to hinder the ability for you to actually like do something with this passion, with this emotion that you are feeling, and this thing that is driving you to express yourself. Okay, so that's what's hindering, but let's move on to what is supporting its growth. What is supporting the energy of you taking action? We have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. I swear I've seen the Two of Pentacles in reverse come out. I think this is the third pile now. I think. So it's insane. It's insane. The Two of Pentacles in reverse it seems to be a very prevalent card. And the Four of Pentacles, again, oh my goodness. This has to be the third time I see this card today. It's crazy. These cards are just repeating themselves in different piles. So there's clearly some sort of like collective energy that is shining through here. The final card that we have is the Three of Wands in reverse. Okay, so I feel like these three cards are giving me a very strong message of do not make compromises, because this passion, this feeling that you have, this true sort of form of you, or this authentic side of you that you maybe haven't felt secure enough to show, it's there for a reason. And so I feel like, especially with the Two of Pentacles in reverse, it's like you are trying to tone it down, or the Three of Wands is like you are trying to see what else is out there, or you're trying to sort of look for other options or pursue a different path. That again could come from this desire to be more reasonable, more rational, to do what is more widely accepted, the more safe choice, so to say. And with both of these cards coming out in reverse, right around the Four of Pentacles, this to me is a clear message to hold your ground, to stick to your guns, to just do what you feel is the right thing to do, and and do it. You know, don't let yourself be swayed by, again, other people's opinions, or maybe even other people's fears that they are projecting onto you. Don't let yourself be swayed by your own fears or by your own sense of like not being good enough, or not being talented enough, or not being special enough, or, you know, whatever it is. If you can hold on to the vision that you have, if you can hold on to this feeling that you want to express yourself, or that you need to express yourself, or whatever this is that you have been hiding away from the world, it needs to come out. And it is special, because I feel like it's a divinely given gift or something. And you may not realize that it's special, but it's special. It's not something that everyone can do. It's not something that everyone can just learn or pick up. It's more special than you realize. And I feel like that's why it's so important for that side of you to come out and shine and to be seen. Because I feel like it will affect and it will inspire other people around you in ways that may not be clear to you. Again, with the moon, we have all of this moon symbology, right? You know, things may be happening in the shadows that you don't realize, but it's important for you to follow that voice, to follow that urge, and to do something with this desire, with this feeling that is brewing in you. Because with the Chariot, this is a sort of a guarantee of success, and we had this recognition and reward here already. So there is clearly something, some sort of like merit that you are going to get from expressing yourself, from putting these talents and skills out into the world for other people to see. Yeah, wow, I am going to leave it here, pile number 5, because again, I feel like this is quite a straightforward message, and I hope that you felt the same way. Now, if this reading spoke to you, if it resonated, if you found something useful, please let me know. You can leave me a thumbs up. You can leave me a comment in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. Please also don't forget to subscribe, because it would help my channel out immensely, and that way I could keep doing these readings for you. And yeah, but if I don't see you in any of the other piles, please take care of yourselves. And I hope to see you guys very soon in my next reading. Bye-bye.